Hello, today we're going to talk about making a fresh apple pie. You know, apples are a great source of vitamin C, fiber, pectin, glucose, and water. The high content of pectin in apples promotes good digestion and is also thought to lower serum cholesterol. According to the website fitday.com, serum cholesterol is a soft, waxy substance found in the blood and cells of the body. While many people will not eat raw apples, they may be inclined to eat a fresh apple pie. So to give you some background on my experience in making apple pies, I was an offshore drill rig cook. So today we're gonna make a fresh apple pie. And along the way, I explain all the steps, procedures, and the benefits, which would include, number one, there's no preservatives. Matter of fact, the only preservative that we're going to have in this particular apple pie would be the pie shell itself. So here we are back with all of our ingredients for our pie filling. Here to my left, we have a half a cup of flour, a fourth of a teaspoon of cinnamon, a fourth of a teaspoon of nutmeg, and a half a cup of sugar. Over here we have our bowl of sliced apples. So here we have a frozen pie shell. We got the empty bowl right here that we're going to use to combine all our ingredients. And over here, we have the recipe that we're going to use. Okay, so here we go. We're going to put our ingredients in the big bowl. Flour, sugar, cinnamon, and nutmeg. We're going to shake it up, kind of combine those ingredients, get them all incorporated real good. Kind of stir it around a little bit. There we go. Now you want to get this stirred in and incorporated real good, and try to pinch any little humps or bumps that you might find up in there. Okay, that's good. Now, on these apples, that's one thing that we need to do. Okay, so we're back. I want to show you my method of peeling and slicing the apples. This apple's been rinsed, knife has been sharpened, and we're going to peel it. You know, some folks say use a corer to core an apple. I prefer not to use a corer because, like I said, this method of making an apple pie puts you in control. You can control the flavor, the taste, by adjusting the nutmeg, cinnamon. You could use allspice or ginger. You really don't have to use nutmeg or cinnamon. I just find that it tastes better that way. And when so-called coring an apple, sometimes you put the core up in the apple there, and you still have some of that hard plastic-like substance that's still into the apple there, you know. So this way, by just peeling and slicing, you can avoid going down into the core with your knife. That way what you'll end up with is just pure apple slices, and you've avoided the core. And when I get here, I want to slice maybe about a quarter of an inch thick. Don't want to go too thin because the heat will cause your apples to basically just cook away, and you end up with applesauce. and not a lot of substance and batter to the pie. So now, okay, we got that sliced up. All our apples are in. Set this aside. Now, I'm going to combine our two mixtures. Take the flour, sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg mixture, pour it over the apples. Just let it all get over there. And we'll set this aside. Then we just kind of want to get those apples all coated with this mixture here. Just keep tossing it just like you would a salad, but gently. The idea here is to get this mixture on over all of the apple slices. And it'll stick because the apple slices are kind of, they're very moist. Okay. Now we're going to place the apples in the pie shell. You don't want to just dump them in, because you have empty pockets, you know, you just dump it in any kind of way. So we want to arrange them by placing them in, put the curved side of the apple to the edge of the pie shell. And it's a little tedious, but that's why this pie is so good. Because you took your time, you made it from scratch, and it pays off in the end, trust me. To be just a bit tedious about this. It's not a complicated recipe. Matter of fact, it's one of the easier ones. And there we are. Apples are arranged. We've got that all done. Now it's time to create the crumb topping so we can finish this pie off. Pop it in the oven. We're going to let it cool completely after it comes out of the oven. Pop it in for about 50 minutes. Let it stay in there. You know, maybe about 10-15 minutes after we turn the oven off. Then we're going to take it out. Actually going to put it in the refrigerator and let it cool off over there for maybe about 2 or 3 hours. Because think about it. When you store the pie, it's usually going to be stored in the refrigerator anyway. So when you cool it off like that, it makes it easier to slice. The pie won't run. And it makes for a nice wedge to set on a saucer. It'll stand up, hold its shape. So we're going to get ready for this crumb topping now. Okay, so now we're ready for our crumb topping, which is going to consist of a cup of flour, a fourth of a cup of brown sugar, and 1 stick of margarine. And what we're going to do, we're going to combine the margarine, the flour sugar mixture, and we just want to kind of take it and crumble it up, get it all incorporated on top, and get that margarine mixed in, squeeze it in. Yeah, you're going to get your hands a bit dirty here. But that's what makes the pie so much worthwhile, because you put that effort into it, that extra bit of effort. And you just kind of gently want to rub it in your hands like that, in between. And let the crumbs kind of fall down. You have to do this a few times. Don't want to rub it too hard, because then you end up with solid lumps of margarine like that. You want to make sure that we get that flour, everything incorporated in real good. Real gently. You're going to end up with a few large lumps, but it'll be alright. They're going to melt down into that pie filling. It's only going to help to make it better. So there we go. It's looking pretty good here now. Just about finished. There we are. Now, I'm going to take the pie, and sit it right here. Make sure we got a good view of it. There we are. And we're gonna just drizzle some of this topping over the top of the pie. There we go. Everything is like arranged. I don't want to just dump stuff. There it is. Pat it down. We want to use all of it too. We paid for it. We're going to get the use out of it. There we go. Just kind of pat it down. You don't want to get it patted in too tightly. Just kind of like, where it don't fall off, when you're moving the pie to the oven. And speaking of the oven, you should already have your oven on and heat it up to 350 degrees. Because when you put this pie in there, you want to time it for the cooking. You want to time it for 50 to 55 minutes. That is ready. Got the pie finished. We get ready to pop it in the oven. You're going to let it stay in there for about 50 to 55 minutes. We'll let it sit for about 15 minutes in the oven after we shut it down. And then we'll transfer it to the refrigerator for about maybe 2 hours. Make sure it gets thoroughly cooled off. We'll pull it out, take a slice, take a bite, and then you'll have a recipe for a homemade fresh apple pie. Okay, so now it's been 2 hours. Pie's been in the refrigerator, and now it's cool. Cool completely. So now let's take a slice. See what it tastes like. Scoop it out. Oh, that's a nice slice. Look how it came out of there. Everything all nice and neat. Slice of pie holding up. Take a bite. The best. Don't forget to try this recipe for Thanksgiving. I'm fixing to enjoy my pie.